justice system. The people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Hello, every single one of you. Hi, and welcome back to Source on Order. This is episode 20, I believe, that we are on. We are live every Sunday from 4 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, we pick a case that I haven't seen before from the car log, from the case log, and we dissect it every week. And we have been dissecting this case, the Monica Sementilli case, since pretty much episode 4. We are now on episode 20 because this is a 37-day trial. What I thought was going to be, okay, this might be straightforward. We're going to go through maybe some normal trial motions, and then we're going to, just try and unpack what's going on, because I have never seen this case. That is a rule here on Source on Order. I don't watch the cases, and I just want to see it unfold, and I analyze as it basically goes along. And then what happens? Yeah, there were so many twists and turns as I got to watch, and nothing could prepare me for half of the things that has happened since I started covering this case. And it was like observing, this case is like observing a slow car crash, right? Because it as the trial unfolds and progresses, you really see the amount of thought that has gone in to really order the evidence that has been presented. Because I really believe when a prosecutor, when they have a lot of evidence to play with, sure, they have a lot of evidence to play with, but how they synthesize that evidence for the lay jury is the actual challenge, if you will, because you can have so many evidence, throw it out on there, and you just overwhelm the jury, basically. That's what I think can happen, because you just got to look at complacency. Like, when you know that, think of it like sports. Like when you know that you're much better than the other team, you have a lot more resources. You might go into the game really unprepared, really failing all the tests, and then boom, that's it, you're finished. So I really admired so far the case that the prosecution has put together. So for this episode, we are definitely going to be continuing on with Robert Baker's testimony, because that's where we are at the moment. On the last episode, right, we got to hear about the first attempt. I say first attempt because if you've been following from episode 4, you would know that on episode 9, that's when we got to hear that there was a first attempt. But now we got to hear on the last episode that there was another attempt in Vegas. That was actually the first attempt. So there's 3 attempts in total, and the first attempt that we thought was the first attempt is actually the second attempt. And then the third attempt was the day of the murder. So this guy, Robert Baker, and of course Monica Sementilli, was accused of being part of the conspiracy. So both of them were really trying their hardest to get rid of Fabio Sementilli, Monica's husband, so that they can start their life together. That is the state's theory, not to say the least. So we got to hear testimony about the attempt in Vegas, when we got to hear testimony about that, which goes back to Austin's testimony about where he confessed that they had been in Vegas, but I never got to hear an attempt on someone's life. So the strategy here to just save it for Baker is just exquisite, because it's just it just shows how they are actually using the value of each evidence that they have for every situation. And that's what I mean, I haven't finished the case yet. I still have, more testimonies coming up. But if I could go on a limb and say what I've decided the verdict that took 8 hours to deliberate, it probably would have been how these facts were unfolding. So they also had communications, or we went through this on the last show. They had communications in which Monica, Birdsong, another co-conspirator, Austin, were all talking on the 11th and the 12th, basically planning the way that the prosecution put it together, basically show that there was a likelihood that they were talking back and forth and planning this sort of murder, etc. And on top of that, we got to hear testimony from Robert Baker saying that he would have postponed the murder had he known that Baker was traveling, which is just a massive contradiction, because I'm like, why would you postpone it? I mean, naturally, you would want to get it done quickly. Like, you wouldn't want to postpone it because it would just create more issues. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's just go straight into this week's, basically go into the testimony that we are going to be exploring with Robert Baker, because he is the most valuable party for the defense as he takes a stand. So let's hear what he has to say. Let's go.
That you were planning on killing Monica's husband, right?
Talking to your technical conspiracy.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do anything with all those charges on there. There was no way I was going to do anything in Vegas, not with all those cameras.
That wasn't my question.
I just told him to come to LA.
Telepathy or how? You didn't use the phone.
No telepathy.
And you didn't go there.
No telepathy.
So
Didn't go there.
how did you tell him?
So yeah, that was the last episode, and yeah, as you can see, Beth was starting to put him into a corner, and that's literally what we had here. He is in a corner, and we're gonna go straight to the testimony that he gave, because he gave a testimony that I thought was quite peculiar. Let me just quickly get it. He gave a testimony that I thought that was quite peculiar, because he basically testified to. I just want to say this. He testified to. Oh gosh. Oh no. There we go. Right. He testified. He basically denied that he wanted to get Fabio killed, so that he can get out of the country. So let's just go straight into that testimony right now and hear what he has to say, because whenever these guys lips, we have one rule here, right, that I just came up with on the spot right now. Whenever this guy's lips is moving, assume that what you're about to hear is pure fantasy.
Again, when did you have that conversation so the two of you would be on the same page?
When he got there to LA, we had started this discussion about how I was going to do this. And I just said I needed to wait for an opportunity to arise.
And what was the discussion the two of you had about the opportunity?
I had to wait for the opportunity, and I had to listen to find information. I didn't tell him that. I knew that. I told him, well, I'm waiting for information to come in, and that's it.
Waiting for information to come in?
Yeah, so to him, it sounded...
From Monica?
From whoever. I didn't tell him where.
Okay.
I said for information to come in.
How do you not see, yeah, great question. Were you waiting for Monica? Because waiting for information stands to reason, well, who else would be giving you information on how to access this property? We'd never had testimony from the defense, by the way, to really establish that Birdsong was at the place. Because at the very least, if you're trying to separate the conspirators, the only person that I envision would be useful to remove Monica out of it would be Birdsong, because technically you can argue if Birdsong never knew Monica and was surveilling the property and going all around that, if they had evidence of that and brought it into the case, or maybe they are planning to bring it in later on, I have no idea, but let's just say that's the play. That would remove Monica, because she would have no idea, and the information would be coming from Birdsong, making this testimony valuable. But at the absence of that information, which I believe that they just don't have, yeah, the only information will come from Monica, because we've already heard from Austin that he has been to the house. Monica has shown him around. Monica and Baker had shown him around the house. So they know where everything is. Back in, I believe it was July 2016, sorry. I believe it was after Vegas. Anyway, let's continue with testimony.
And so once information came in, then what did you tell him he was supposed to do?
Well, I told him if he's going to strike, you got to, I told him how to do it.
What do you mean? How to do it?
How to commit a murder with a knife.
Okay.
To make it quick.
Hang on him. Tell me what you told him.
You have to cut for the neck.
Go for the neck.
You have to make it quick.
Okay. So you told Austin to go for the neck. Is that right?
That's what I told him. Make it quick. Try to make it as painless as possible. Can we get out of there?
And did you give him anything?
Yeah, he had the knife. I gave him.
What knife did you give him?
It was the smaller one.
What smaller knife?
The one that was used later.
Which one?
The one that was used for the murder.
Which one? Describe it.
It was 8 inches long. It was a small hunting knife.
Okay. You gave him a small hunting knife.
Yes.
Is this the same knife that you brought with you when you and Austin went to Las Vegas in July of 2016 to stay at Al Birdsong's and meet up with Monica?
No.
It's a different knife.
Yeah.
Where did you get this knife?
This one was like Target or something. I think it was Target or Walmart.
Target or Walmart?
Yeah, I can't remember which one.
Where was the second knife?
That was the one that was used for the strip mall and the actual murder. The other knife was gone. I got rid of it because it was gaudy. It was just for show.
You got rid of the July knife?
Yes.
Before Austin came to Los Angeles in January?
Yes.
Okay. So you gave him a second knife, not the one you had showed him in July.
Correct.
Another knife that you had purchased, again, either at Walmart or you said Target.
We know where
Correct.
this is going.
Okay. And you told him to hit Fabio in the neck.
Yes.
Okay. And you let him out at the strip mall?
Down the street.
Down the street.
Yeah, I can still see everything from a distance.
Okay. Would you have binoculars, special kinds of glasses?
No.
What are you using to be able to see in the strip mall?
Nothing.
And so how far away are you from the strip mall when you let him out?
I don't have the exact distance.
Give us an estimate.
I don't want to do that. I might be
Well,
too
you're a
off.
military guy, so you know things like that, right?
Not in here. I'm not. Not in here. My military days are over.
Okay. So you let him out somewhere, right?
Close enough for him to run up to the parking lot.
Okay. And where do you go?
At a safe distance so I can see and be out of the way.
Where do you go?
I don't remember exactly. I would have to look, and it was right off Ventura Boulevard, somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
So some ways away from the strip mall?
A little bit, but enough where I can see if there's some kind of movement.
Movement. By who?
Anybody.
Anybody.
Yep. But I'm still moving around because I don't want to sit still too long.
So you're driving around.
I'm driving.
So you're not like at any kind of a parked location.
No.
And how long are you driving around?
Seemed like hours, but it wasn't. It was probably minutes. I'm guessing. It's a guess.
Could it have been hours?
No, I don't want to say that. No. Why don't you holding me to it again? No, it wasn't hours though.
Not hours.
It wasn't hours.
So you told us that you get some information from Monica that she's going to send Fabio out to pick up food, right? Some kind of Chinese, you said, right?
Correct.
And you knew, you told us that the family only went to 2 places ever.
That I know of that they usually go to.
Okay. And you had no way of knowing if Fabio was going to pick a different place, right?
He might have. He could have.
But before you went, you told us you had this GPS tracker
Had it on it for a while.
on the Porsche.
On both cars.
And so you were watching the Porsche do what before you left your apartment and made your alibi with the people that saw you leave?
He was still sitting.
He was still sitting,
Car showed still sitting.
okay?
So I just went to Ventura Boulevard to the halfway mark and just waited to see.
I see. So you went and sat on Ventura Boulevard to see if he would come to the one location.
Either one location to see which one we would go to.
So were you driving back and forth between 2 different locations?
I just told you I just sat in the middle.
You sat in the middle.
I said, yeah, kind of in between. It's further down the street off Ventura Boulevard.
I thought you told us that you sat at a location where you could see Chris Austin at the strip mall.
No, what you asked me was from where once Fabio parked, that's when I did that.
Okay, so
mixed
you
it
actually
up.
saw Fabio drive in to the
No,
strip mall.
I didn't. I was too far. I didn't want to get that close
So how did you just say, once he parked, if you didn't see it?
because I assumed it's about that time where he would have to park.
You assumed?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is
So,
hold
at
on.
some point in
This
time-
this is where we have to stop. How would he know the information? How would he know to even have the assumption, to even make the assumption? How would he have that information to make the assumption? What's missing from Baker's testimony is how he got the information to be at Faux Restaurant, and that is what Beth Silverman, don't know why I forgot her name. She's my stan. I stan her anyway. I stan her, not she's my stan. I stan her anyway. What I'm trying to say is, how did she? We already got the context with this. So this he knows how he got this information. He knows who he came from, but he's trying to wiggle himself around so many times.
As you're driving around, you decide he's probably going to come to this location and park.
Oh, he does. I see the Porsche eventually go by.
Oh, you did see it?
I saw the Porsche go by. It's nighttime.
Okay. So you saw the Porsche,
Eventually.
okay? After how long of waiting at the strip mall did you eventually see the Porsche?
I don't know how much time went by. It wasn't that long.
10 minutes?
It wasn't that long.
Less than 5?
It was short time.
It was what?
It was a short time.
Like how long?
It was minutes.
Minutes. So as soon as you leave, you go to the strip mall, but you're parked in between 2 different locations.
No, I'm parked before that happens.
Okay. And then you see the Porsche go by on, are you saying on Ventura Boulevard?
Yes.
Okay. And so you then what? Follow him?
I don't follow him. I let him go. Keep going. I want him to go ahead and get parked.
So you park where?
This is the quick question you keep asking me again in a different way. I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was drop him off and drop Chris off in an area where I think there's no cameras. Let him go. Then once he goes, I get away from that just in case he's seen and try to find another place so I can keep an eye on things if I
In case
can.
Chris is seen.
Yes.
But nobody knows him here. That was the whole point of having him come, right?
And that's part of it.
So that whole little piece about in case he's seen. So where do you go then? Once you see the Porsche go by, how do you know which strip mall or store or restaurant Fabio's going to go to?
Before he answers the question, the funny thing about that testimony is Fabio does not even know what Christopher looks like. They have never met. I have to pause there because I know he testified about being a racquetball, but I think it was Baker that testified that he has met Fabio. So that's it. That's the only person that I know. As far as I'm concerned, Christopher Austin and Fabio never met at all. and Beth is right. That was the value of this. Is something that I highlighted way back in on episode 10, because I think it was episode 10, one of the episodes, but because I said to myself, that's why they had to do everything to get him to be part of this scheme, because he's untraceable. That's what he's bringing to this. So if someone has a crisis of conscience and pulls back from a murder plot, you would let him go. You would want to cut him loose. Like, you don't want to take a chance. That's risky. But the fact, like I said in the previous stream, the fact that he was not going to be here at all was just the fact that he had to be part of this was the opportunity to just not be traced at all. It was the fact that he gets to go back to Alaska and no one would be able to figure out that he was actually in LA. No one would trace to him. At least that was the belief. They were wrong with their belief.
Because he parks the car in the parking lot.
Oh, so you saw him parked?
I told you I did.
Okay, I just want to be clear. You told us that you saw him go by. You didn't say you saw him park. So you saw Fabio park the Porsche, yes?
Yes.
In the strip mall?
Yes.
And where does he park?
It looks like it was sort of in the front, maybe about 50 yards from Ventura Boulevard, in front of the area where the restaurant was.
So he parks right in front of the restaurant?
Sort of, kind of a way. I guess he was trying to keep his car from getting banged or something.
Okay. So where in relation to the restaurant does he park?
In front of it.
Describe for us the place.
It's a restaurant with a big parking lot with a lot of different stores. He parks kind of in front of it, but away from it at the same time. It's the best I can do.
Okay. And then what do you see?
I move.
You move where?
I drive. I go to a different spot. I'm moving to a different spot. So now I'm trying to make sure I get out of the way. I don't want to make sure that my car is nowhere seen anywhere.
Okay. And then what?
Moments later, I get a call, because I'll call on the burner, and he says, "Come pick me up."
Moments later.
No stopwatch. Don't know how much time went by. No stopwatch. So I don't know.
And is this Austin that you're saying he?
Yes.
He said, "Come pick me up."
Come pick me up, and I'm in the back. I'm in the back of the strip mall.
And you pick him up.
Right.
Okay.
And I already know it hadn't been done.
Because you were watching and you didn't see anything happen.
I'm watching, but I'm not watching the entire time, because remember, I'm moving around.
Okay. And what time of day is this?
In the evening.
What time?
I don't know. I don't know the exact time. I don't.
And while you've got your burner phone, not the one you use with Monica, so you're not communicating with her from that burner phone,
I don't think I
right?
am, because I'm purposely leaving it behind, because I'm thinking it might get pinged. I'm
Right.
thinking.
That's what you told us.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Right. So you're not in communications with Monica at all during this time period, right?
What do you mean, the whole day?
No, during the time that you're, as you told us, driving around in the area of the strip mall, watching the Porsche go by.
I don't really remember, honestly. I don't really remember.
Watching Fabio park, waiting for Austin. No communications, right?
I don't really remember. I don't think so, but I don't really remember that.
If I were to tell you that a geolocation expert testified in this case that you were sitting in the area of this strip mall for over 3 hours.
Wow.
The night of the attempted hit on Fabio. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what's important about his testimony, because I'm gonna go here. and it's the testimony of Cyril. He gives a bit more context into. It's gonna be a quick clip, but everything that he just testified to in regards to the positioning that he was in, how he was very vague about all of it, and also in regards to how long he would have been there for. It matters here because Cyril is going to give testimony in regards to, and this testimony is key because he is going to testify about the withdrawal that was being made at that time, and the activity that was going on from Monica's phone and devices when all of this was going on.
California time. So if you think about that call,
Let me go back a little bit more. That's it.
So as we continue here, the next Zoom, you're going to.
So this testimony was on the state's presentation of evidence. I believe this was. Oh damn! I forgot. I think this was. Oh damn! Episode number. I need to start keeping an actual record of this, but I think it was episode 13 or 14. I need to really start keeping a record of this. But yeah, it was after Christopher Austin's testimony, and he basically went on to give the data rundown, basically giving more information, more granular information, building on Mitzi Roberts' testimony before Mitzi Roberts came back on. So this is the testimony in regards to that second attempt and the data activity on that day.
The 1524, that's 3:24 California time. So if you think about that call coming in at 24 minutes later, Mr. Baker's device has moved into the area where that faux restaurant is. And just for the record, it's going to get marked on the map here so everybody's on the same page. It's like this L-shaped plaza right here. It's in the corner of that L. While this is happening, so I'm looking at the Viber records at the same time. Mr. Baker's device arrives in the area at 3:24. From 3:34 to 6 p.m., we see quite a bit of Viber activity between the defendant and Mr. Baker. There's 69 Viber messages that are going to go back and forth in about that 2.5 hour time frame. So at the same time that this phone is going to stagnate in that area, we're going to see significant text messages going back and forth. Can't tell you what they say, but there's transactional history showing that they happened. If we look at the browser information, we talked about this earlier today, there's some interesting things that are going on with both Fabio's phone and the defendant's phone, where we see at 5:11, Fabio is searching faux near me, and that's literally in quotations what is searching. At 5:12, he sends the defendant an instant message. I can't tell you what that instant message said. We didn't capture the content, but I can see that it's sent. Right after receiving that instant message, Monica searches the actual address of that faux restaurant, 19548 Ventura Boulevard. At 5:41, we see the defendant actually text one of her daughters confirming her order would be fried rice. During this time period, 5:11 to 5:41, we see 17 Viber messages alone just in that time period between Mr. Baker's Viber account and the defendant's Viber account.
17.
Correct.
Okay.
17 Viber messages from 3 to 5 o'clock.
I'm going to pause one other area here really quick. Sorry, I just wanted to catch it before we lost it so we don't have to start over. I was asked at the same time with all this other information, specifically, and I don't know all of the issues of why this is relevant, but hey, is there a Vons and is there a Ralph's in the general area? The Vons was next to Chase, you guys have already seen that. It should be pointed out here, and you can see it right next to the cell site that is lit up with the red circle around it, literally kind of catty corner in that intersection. There is a Ralph's located right there. Again, I can't tell you that they went to the Ralph's, I can't tell you they went by the Ralph's, but the phone at some point during this evening, that 3:30 time frame to 6, Mr. Baker's phone is using a cell site that's located right next to the Ralph's. It is about 3 business complexes down to where the faux restaurant is located.
So now let's go back to Baker's testimony because with that context reminder that has been brought out regarding his search activity and everything, we already know that Monica had called him at 3 o'clock, right? We already know as well, it's been established that the full restaurant search was made around this time, and Baker was sent there, right? And we already know that there were Viber messages being sent around this time. This was 5 o'clock. So this was 3 hours. So from 3 till 5, that was at least 2 hours that has been logged before Fabio even makes the trip to Faux restaurant.
In the area of this strip mall for over 3 hours.
Wow.
The night of the attempted hit on Fabio. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
Okay.
It was not that long.
And if I were to tell you during that over 3 hour period that there were approximately 60 Viber messages between you and Monica during that period of time, is that going to change your testimony to this jury?
No, because I don't know. I don't remember all 3 hours. I don't remember that.
Okay. If I were to also tell you that that night Fabio was not driving the Porsche, would that also change your testimony?
I saw a black Porsche. So, I saw a black Porsche.
And that was the one you were following based on your
I saw.
GPS.
Yes.
And your GPS showed that the other vehicle that you had a GPS tag on, was still at the Sementilli home. That would be the black Ford F-150, right?
Correct.
So if Chris Austin came in and testified before this jury that you showed him a picture of Fabio and described a black or a dark blue colored Ford F-150, and that's the vehicle that he saw come into the shopping center, again, does that change your testimony to this jury?
I tells you that my memory is so screwed up that I couldn't even remember that because I'm the one who took him.
Showing you Exhibit 159. The day that you said you were waiting for an opportunity to arise. This is January 22nd of 2017. Would it surprise you to see that once again there are communications back and forth between you and Monica starting just after midnight, picking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and going all the way through the day? You got it?
I do.
Showing you the second page. Again, messages going all the way through the day. You see that?
I do.
And the
has to
third
acknowledge
page.
it.
Once again, messages starting at 5:14 between you and Monica, all the way on this page till 8:37 at night.
Okay.
See that?
Yes.
And on the next page, the last page, again, from 8:37 all the way till 9:55 p.m. You see that?
I do.
It surprised you to know that there were 180 Viber messages between you and Monica on the day that you and Austin attempted to kill Fabio Sementilli at this spa restaurant or Chinese place or whatever you want to call it at a strip mall.
What day is this? This says the 23rd?
Come
Yeah,
on,
the 23rd
man.
of January? And the 22nd of January.
22nd into the 23rd.
Okay, I see
After
that.
midnight.
All right, I
See
see it.
that?
No, 2 different days. I got it now. All right.
Two different.
Two
No,
different
it's
days.
not.
180 Viber messages on January 22nd.
Yeah,
The day of the attempted hit.
Okay. We Viber all the time. We text, we chatted all the
You don't
time.
have your phone with you.
I
your
said,
phone's at home.
I told you. I told you. I'm not sure. I told you this.
Okay. And this is the same application that the next night you deleted after the murder because, as you told this jury last week on several different occasions, because it was glitchy.
Yep.
But it worked on January 22nd, right? Because the information she provided you got you to the right shopping center, right?
It didn't get me to a right shopping center. It just happened. She mentioned that they were going to dinner. I just picked it up on my own.
You like, this is why. If we cast our mind back to what he said literally just a few minutes ago, right? He was waiting for information, right? We asked, who from? He said, he denied it was Monica. And now what does he say? That she had informed him that let me just play it back.
I mentioned that it didn't get me to a right shopping center. It just happened. She mentioned that they were going to dinner. I just picked it up on my.
She mentioned it to him that they were going to dinner. So she mentioned it that they were going to dinner. Now he is there planning to kill him. How does this not implicate Monica at all? This guy's, see, yes, he does have memory problems, but like legit, if you can't remember, you shouldn't try and guess, because I feel like he was pressured to a corner and he's making a guess. I genuinely don't think he actually believes this happened on that day. Let me assume that he's telling the complete truth. This has to be a different memory, and he's placing it here. But I know he's not a different memory. I know that he's telling an untruth because of the pure fact that he knows Monica was sending him that information, as shown on the Bible, as shown on the from the direct examination. He must have only got the information from Monica to like they must have planned it. That's the value of this subtle admission here. They must have planned it from 3 to 5 when this restaurant search was made. It was only when Baker had situated himself in that area that she got the go-ahead to make the call, to basically say, to basically suggest to Fabio, hey, you can go to this restaurant, let's go there, basically. That's what I think was going on.
I picked up the information by myself.
On your own.
I just listened. All I do is listen. That's all I did, listen.
All he did was listen. So first it was, Monica mentioned this, like, now I picked up the information by myself.
So if I were to tell you that the defendant Googled phone near me and then sent an address to Fabio to pick up, that information was then provided to you, correct?
That is the first I heard of this.
It's the first I've heard of this. You guys.
In addition to communicating through Viber, did you?
Let's just go back to this quickly. Let's just think about it logically. What is the coincidence? What are the odds that on the day that he has Austin ready to kill Fabio, right? He just happens to be 2 hours ahead of Monica without knowing at all where Fabio was going to go, without having any knowledge, no prior knowledge whatsoever. He just manages to somehow be here at this moment, at this point in time, and it just so happens that Monica then makes a search, tells Fabio to go there. What are the odds?
And the defendant also communicate through the Lifestyle Lounge application.
Did we communicate through it?
Yeah, it has a chat feature, just like Viber.
We used it.
To chat, right?
Used it.
To talk, make calls, right? Just like you would through Viber.
We used it. I forgot how it works though, but it wasn't our primary way of sending messages.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and go straight to the next part of his testimony, where he testified in regards to receiving a call from Monica. Well, let me not say receiving a call. He denied receiving a call at 3 p.m. Let me not say denied. He actually says he doesn't remember receiving a call at 3 p.m. from Monica. But they, in regards to that Lifestyle Lounge, is very important, because Lifestyle Lounge was when Monica, the website that Monica accessed on the day of the murder, and she had spoken with Baker on Lifestyle Lounge. That is going to, well, let me not say spoken. That's my own interpretation. That's my own opinion. It's not been established that they were actually speaking on Lifestyle Lounge on that day. But what's notable was Monica actually accessing Lifestyle Lounge. This part of the testimony is going to give a bit more context to that second attempt, which I believe is going to link up to the Lifestyle Lounge and why that moment basically was crucial.
Phone number attached to it?
I see that number.
That's Bella.
Yeah, I know nothing about all this though.
But
So
somehow, despite the fact...
Should we approach?
So all of this is again around the second attempt. Well, technically the first attempt, but the 22nd of January attempt. And he is basically now gonna say he cannot remember making these calls, having these communications, all of these things.
This is a PowerPoint from a geolocation expert, which is on Exhibit 158 for the date of January 22nd.
See this red area?
Yes. Yes.
And see this smaller red area within it?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that too.
You see that right here it has your address, your old address on Independence?
Yes.
See that? Do you recall receiving a phone call from Monica at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
No, I don't. I can't. I don't.
Immediately after receiving that phone call, you left your apartment. That would be in the afternoon. Remember that?
No, I don't.
And then, after receiving that phone call, you drive to the same area that was on the exhibit I just showed you, where Monica was looking up the address that we see here. See that?
I see what's on the paper.
Okay. And then you are in the area of this particular location, 19548 Ventura Boulevard, from 3:30 until 6 p.m. 2.5 hours. Remember being there waiting for 2.5 hours for Fabio to get there before Fabio even knew he was going there? No?
I don't remember being. I really don't. I mean,
And while you're waiting there for 2.5 hours, you and Monica exchanged 69 Viber messages.
Well, we're always texting. That's nothing new.
Okay.
Nothing new, right? Except
We're
this
always
day
texting.
there's an
We're always
attempt to
texting.
hit.
We're always texting. So it's nothing new.
Okay, he said it 5 times actually. He said it 3 times here, but 5 times in total, because again, they're always vibering all of those things. Listen to this testimony.
Except this happens during the time that you're waiting for Fabio to show up based on information Monica gave you before Fabio was even Googling Fo that day. So you know about it before Fabio does. How's that?
I remember that.
I'm sorry. What's this thing?
How did you know where Fabio was going before even Fabio knew where he was going?
No, I'm always on Ventura Boulevard anyway.
Argumentative. No, I'm overruled.
I'm always on Ventura Boulevard anyway, so.
I'm
He I remember when he showed up, it was dark, and I knew it was dark, and I remember being there when it was dark. I don't remember when I was being there during the daylight. I just don't remember that. I don't. Not for that purpose, anyway.
I don't like this guy. Every time his lips move, I just lose trust.
So you just happen to be on Ventura Boulevard, waiting in a car with Chris Austin, your co-conspirator, with a knife to carry out a hit on Fabio Sementilli hours before he even showed up there.
I wouldn't even sit there for 3 hours like that.
I'm going to object. The testimony was not that definite.
It's overruled.
You said that when Chris Austin got back to your car, or you had to call, he had to call you, right?
Correct.
But you told him to leave his phone home.
And a burner phone.
You gave him a burner phone when he came in.
Yeah.
So he calls you, right? And you go pick him up.
Correct.
And he tells you he couldn't do it.
I could tell he didn't do it, but yeah.
No,
But he
no, he actually
He told me
told you
that
that.
too.
Yeah,
Right?
come on,
And you
let's
could
not
tell
lie.
from the way that he was talking that this was something that Chris Austin wasn't going to be able to do himself, right?
Well, after that, yeah.
And so you told him that you would go with him to carry out the hit, right?
When?
The next day.
The next, yeah.
No, I told him I needed him to be my lookout.
Okay. And you also told us that you had to put Austin in the middle of the murder in order to ensure his silence, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well, a lookout would obviously be responsible perhaps for something far different than a murder,
Objection.
right?
Madison strikes not an evidence.
Calls for a legal conclusion to stand on that ground.
You brought him with only to be a lookout, you said.
That was my intention, yes.
Yet you had to go with him to commit the murder, right?
Or he went with me.
Okay. You brought him with, right?
We went together.
He came here because you asked him to in order to kill your girlfriend's husband, to get him out of the way, right?
Correct.
Okay. So the next day, you told us that in the morning, Monica texted you and said she's going to the gym, right?
Text or called.
Okay. And she came to the gym that day, right? The two of you met there,
Correct.
right? What time was that?
11-ish.
11.
Let me interrupt. We'll take our lunch recess until 1:30. The evidence applies. Don't discuss this case on yourself.
11. Now he says 11. Let's go into the testimony right here that is going to clean it up, because first he says he can't remember the time that Monica had called. If we remember it, I called him if I remember the testimony. And then now he says that they had probably spoken at around 11. All of these times, Monica would have been at the house with Fabio. Anyway, let's go into testimony.
That caught my attention prior to some recent developments over the last.
This is by Cyril again, going through a more granular detail of the data activity from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
3 or 4 months. However, since I already mapped it, I received some information in the last few months. Hey, can you go back and look specifically at some times in the afternoon of the 22nd, and can you tell us where everybody's phone is on the 22nd? So in doing that, I found between 3 p.m. and 6:05, there is some interesting activity. Mr. Baker is going to receive a phone call from the defendant at 3 o'clock. The call is going to be about 2 minutes in length. Immediately after receiving that call, Mr. Baker is his device is going to leave the area of his apartment and it's going to go over to 19548 Ventura Boulevard. That's at least really close to where the cell tower is located. I can't say he's at that address. He's just in the general area there. We're going to see the phone stagnate. What I mean by stagnate is with the information, the data we have available, the phone is only going to use cell sites in that general area over the next 3.5 hours.
And again, that's established firmly that he was, well, that's the wrong area, wrong clip. There we go. Is this? Yeah, that's the one. All right. So that's established that he was that at 3:00, Monica had called him. They had sent viral messages back and forth. At least it was 68 for that period. That's a lot of viral messages. Now, going back to the defense evidence presentation, we now got to hear that that Baker had testified that he had to rely on the information that was given to him that day. Again, the question has to be asked: who gave you this information? And not only did he testify to this, he also testified that everything that was happening on the 23rd that day, that's the reference. Everything that was happening on the 23rd was basically 22nd. My bad. My bad. 22nd. I believe it was 22nd. Everything that was happening on that day, basically, it was all by chance.
Going to be home on the day that you went up there to commit the murder.
Sorry, 23rd.
That he was going to be home?
Yeah.
Well, I kind of took it that he was going to be home.
Okay. Well, you didn't just take it that way. I mean, you relied on that information, right?
Well,
you went through this whole elaborate scheme to go up there to kill him.
Eventually, I had to rely on the information, yes.
Okay. Did you know that he was also gone during a portion of that day, that we saw him on videotape? Leaving, coming home?
No. It was a lot going on that day.
A lot going on. Where else did you go after LA Fitness?
I went back to the apartment.
And what did you do when you got back to the apartment?
Try to figure out how to do this thing.
What do you mean try to figure out how to do this
How
thing?
to do the murder.
What do you mean how to do the murder?
What do I mean how to do the murder? How to do the murder? How to do the murder? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
Well, explain to the jury what you mean.
You mean to go through the whole plan again?
I'd like to know what you said you went back to the apartment to do.
I said, I went back and I told Chris, I said, I think I might have a good, something like this. I don't want to be verbatim. I'm paraphrasing. I just told him I think there was an opportunity. I don't remember exact verbiage.
Okay. And so what did you do then?
Try to get everything together that I needed.
What was that?
The clothes.
Okay. What clothes?
The clothes that I was wearing that day.
Okay. What else?
Then I had to sit down and think about how I'm going to actually do this, which meant how to actually put it into motion.
Okay. So what did that entail?
Getting up there.
No. When you said you had to sit down and think about it.
Yeah, it means I had to sit down and figure out how I'm going to do this.
Okay. So what did you do? You wrote it out on a piece of paper?
No, I just thought about it. Just thought about it.
Okay.
You know what this contextualizes a lot? It actually does. This context does answer a lot of questions. It does make sense why they would run into the house, front door, for an home invasion with their hoodie on, if you remember the video. It does make sense because, yeah, that does seem like a plan that you would come up right on the spot and be like, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Because they were pushed into a corner, of course. What this is missing, though, is Monica's involvement.
And then what'd you do?
And start trying to implement it.
And how did you do that?
By going to the place or the location where the car was, where I planned on putting the car, park it, and find a way where there's no camera, or the least amount of cameras, the least possible amount of cameras.
So you went somewhere before you went to the house?
No. I went. Everything was done on the fly.
On the fly.
Yeah.
That question was very important because he was this done before you went to the house? It's like, no, everything was done on the fly. Everything he's saying corroborated the evidence that we got to hear from Mr. Roberts, in regards to the movement of the Versa being parked. I can't remember which store. Was it Ralph's? I don't know which store, but it was parked in a recycling area or something like that where the trash is. And that's basically what he's testified to, except that he has kind of now revised it a little bit the minute that he was asked the question. Was it before the house? And then for some reason he kind of, maybe he realized, oh, I can't really say that because technically speaking, Monica was going to the same place. Maybe he got, I have no idea. I just thought that was a bit weird to just kind of revise now and be like, no, everything basically came out on the fly and just throw that deflection out there.
So you went back to the apartment. Were you again still in touch with Monica throughout the day?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I'm not sure.
So how would you know that Fabio wouldn't get up and leave and go to the office for a meeting?
I wouldn't know.
All right, good question.
How would you know that he wouldn't go out to pick up lunch or
He might
something
have.
else?
That was a chance I was taking.
Okay. So you had Christopher Austin fly all the way in. You went through all of this thinking, planning. The attempted hit the night before didn't work. So what steps did you undertake to ensure that you weren't going up there needlessly?
There were no steps to just try to get it done. There was no specific steps to try to make sure. It just had to see if it could get done. If he happened to leave, then it would be over right then.
You sit on a throne of lies.
I don't believe for a second. I don't believe that for a second.
Okay. And how would you know if he had left the house?
Maybe I saw him.
You saw him?
I said maybe if I would have seen him. So that's one way of knowing.
How would you see him?
If I saw him coming out the house.
You mean while you were actually there on the street?
Or if he was coming down the street.
Okay.
That was one way. GPS movement. But I really didn't have too much time to look at that. It wasn't enough time.
The GPS. You didn't have time to look at the GPS.
I really didn't have a lot of time. I really didn't have a lot of time for that.
It's so chaotic because it's like he knows the value of the testimony that he gave about planting GPS trackers on Fabio's vehicle, and he also knows that was destroyed. So he's trying to,
because it's a very short window.
No, I just didn't have the time for it. I knew that the way I understood it was she said that she had to pick up her kids around 5 and she would be back and let me know when she was back and whatever. So I figured I had a small window to get that done and be able to receive a call or a text and let me know that because she always lets me know how the day was. So I didn't want to break that.
So you don't remember being in touch with her throughout, again,
I really
that entire day?
I'm sure I did. I just don't remember what times and all that. I just don't remember all that.
So from your apartment, where did you go?
Eventually, I went to the location. Well, no. I wind up having to pick up some items. I think I went to the bank.
Went to the bank.
Pick up money.
Okay.
So, and then I went to one store to pick up an item and another store to pick up some other items.
Did Chris Austin come with you to the bank and the store?
No, the bank was a drive-through.
Was he with you?
No.
Okay. Which car were you in?
I think I was in my truck.
The truck that you said you wasn't working, so you needed a rental car, right?
It wasn't working earlier that week, no, but it worked. It was working.
It was working.
I needed a battery.
It was working that day.
Yeah, no, I eventually got it to work. I put a new battery in it.
Okay.
So you couldn't just put a new battery in. You had to go get a rental. Come on, man.
And so what store did you go to?
I went to a liquor store, not to buy liquor.
You told us you were in a rush, you didn't have a lot of time to look at the GPS, but you had time to go to the liquor store?
Not to buy liquor. I went to buy something. I can't remember what it was. It wasn't liquor though.
Okay. So you went to the bank, you went to the liquor store, where else did you go?
I went to Target.
You went to Target?
Yeah.
What time did you go to Target?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. And what did you buy at the Target that day when you were in a rush to get over to the house to commit this murder in that short window?
I believe it was some kind of clothing.
You bought clothes?
No, some kind of clothing, yeah. I believe that's what it was.
Okay. And while you were there in the Target
would it be possible that he bought the hoodie at Target?
parking lot, did you meet up with Monica?
No, not that I remember.
Could you have?
I don't remember because I met her a lot of places all the time. So I don't remember if I met her that day or not, because I meet her all kinds of places, and Target was one of them. There's a lot of places. We met a lot of places, so I don't remember.
So if Monica was messaging you right up into the time that she comes to the Target store, and then the messaging stops for a period of time when you're both in the lot, would that refresh your recollection that the two of you got together at the Target lot to speak?
Maybe might have been in the same parking lot. I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know. I told you I don't remember.
Okay. So you said you were driving your truck when you went to the Target, right?
No.
Oh, you went back and changed cars?
I said, yes. I went to the bank with the truck. That's what I told you.
Okay. And then you said you went to the liquor store. Which car were you in for that?
I walked.
You walked to the liquor store?
I sure did.
Okay. And then you went back to the apartment? Or
yes.
did you walk to Target?
Yes. No. I went back to the apartment.
And then what vehicle did you take to go to the Target?
The silver car.
The rental car?
It was silver, I believe it was.
The one that was rented, correct?
The silver car.
Why is he
Again.
playing? Why is he actually?
Yes.
Your
the
Honor,
silver car.
I ask that the witness be directed to answer the question.
You go ahead and ask your question.
The silver car that was rented.
There you go. And when was that car rented for you?
I don't know what day it was.
Okay, so the importance. Okay, so everything that's basically just happened, in regards to the timings, is going to be very important to remember, because there were so many communications, right, that was established on that day. But when on day 19, when Missy Roberts came on to testify, I'm just going to share the screen here. This is the report. It's not yet finished, and I'm still compiling it. But this was everything that she basically testified to in regards to the timings of the verbal communications, and not only the verbal communications, but also the meeting up. So, but also the activities surrounding the verbal communications. So Monica enters at 3:49. They message each other at 3:41. And then at 3:40 is when she messages Jessica saying, "Don't be late." Monica was already going into the store, and Monica was already at Target. We also got to hear, and all of this was established on the state's presentation of evidence based day 19. So Monica, key activity here was 3:53, where Monica activates the app that is needed to go and access the DVR footage. And then at 4:18, the assailants, which is the Baker, etc., Baker and Austin in this situation, that's when they had went into the house, into the Sementilli residence with their faces covered. So that was all well and good until Cyree hit the scene, because and there's a massive difference from when Cyree hit the scene and actually gave testimony, and from when Missy Roberts gave testimony, because Cyree provided a more granular data to show that there was communication at 3 p.m. on that particular day before the murder. There was communication, and of course this is where Missy Roberts had picked up because Mr. Roberts provided context here. I'll just go back quickly. The context is here. Baker exits target at 3:19. That was the context there. So when we go back now to Cyrey, what he introduced was this call here. Well, not call, sorry, my bad. Was this communication where Monica messages Baker and Baker was messaging her at 3:11 and 3:14 respectively. And I loved how the defense did it. And I always make it like a habit to log the times regardless of what it might present, just in case. Because what this showed me in looking back and actually seeing this unfold is the defense were, well, the state were really providing the information. I don't know what word to use to actually describe exactly how masterful this delivery was, because it's not overwhelming. It's unfolding. You're not getting all the information thrown at you at once. You are getting it incrementally, and as more testimony was unfolded, because this was right after Christopher Austin's testimony. As more testimony unfolded, you're going to get more details to kind of give a bit more context and reignite that interest. So I just love that. I just love that, because knowing, as the case went on, knowing that they were actually talking at 3 p.m. around that time, 3 p.m. to 3:13, and then that's when and knowing as well that at 3:19 Baker had left target, like Baker exits target, and then at 3:21 that's when Monica communicates that this is where it picks up again from Mitzi's thread. 3:21 Monica communicates with Baker on Viber first. Both these times Monica communicates first, and then Baker communicates back. 3:29 Monica communicates with Baker. We pick up the thread again. 3:36, this is a new information because that was not part of the thread. Sorry, this is not new information. Sorry. 3:26, same information as before. So the new information here is 4:46, because that was not part of, at least not what I it was here. So at 4:46 that's when Monica had basically communicated with Baker, and this was after the murder had occurred. And at 4:50 she had deleted the lifestyle lounge from her phone. That's basically the order of events. And to me, that's to me, everything that Baker has given testimony to now is going to matter here, because this is where they're gonna go through that testimony, basically scrutinize the events, the ordering of events that went on that day.
Do you recognize the car?
Not really. I don't remember. I don't recognize it, but I'm sure that's supposed to be the car I was in. I'm sure.
Supposed to be.
I'm sure.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because I don't know if it is or not.
We're going to play a portion of the video that is on the DVD that's been marked as People's 42. You recognize this location here? Is that the Target parking lot?
I think so. I still can't get oriented yet. It's been a while.
Remember driving past all the different lanes to go to the very farthest lane closest to the 101 freeway?
No, I don't remember.
In the rental vehicle?
I don't remember it. I don't remember that, but I'm sure it happened.
Remember backing the vehicle into the spot? Yes? No?
I don't remember, but it looks like I did it, so I don't remember that, but it looks like I did it.
Okay.
Recognize yourself from the way you walk and what you're wearing?
I remember what I wore. Yeah, it was dark.
That's you, right?
I think so. It looks like it.
Okay, so we got that. This next part of the testimony is where I cannot believe what he was basically testifying to here, and it's really absurd because we know that he was in Target at 3:00, and we also know that he had exited Target at 3:19. This next part of the testimony is completely bizarre, where he denies even having contact with Monica.
You see Monica's car in red, the Ford F-150 that you said you had a GPS on,
Yes.
pulling into the lot?
Yes.
See the car stop right there? And someone comes around the front? See that?
I can barely see anything.
And your car is still at the back of the lot. You see the green circle to the right?
Yeah.
So you remember meeting up with Monica at the parking lot in front of the Payless Shoes?
I really don't remember. I really don't remember. It seemed like any other day when I met her. When I meet her.
It seemed like any other day, except
Yeah.
this was the day you were planning on murdering her.
I'm talking about this right here. It seems like any other day to me. To me, it just seems like any other day of me meeting her.
You see
So,
the two circles on the screen at 3:30, the red one and the green one? Your rental car is still there in the back of the lot.
I saw
See
it.
that?
I saw it.
So what were the two of you talking about in her car at this point?
I told you I don't even remember seeing her, let alone talking to her.
Well, do you remember in the holding cell just behind this door here having a conversation with Monica about exactly this? The two of you in the Target lot just prior to the murder meeting up. Remember having a conversation with her about it?
I remember always trying to have conversations with her.
Do you remember a conversation with her about the Target parking lot and the video?
I don't remember the subject matter exactly, but I always try to talk to her all the time.
So this was from August 24th of 2017, where you told her, we got to get married, babe, and she said, I love you, and you said, my lawyer said the same thing. He thinks you're going to make a deal. Actually, that's Monica saying that to you. And you said, babe, I'm not making no fucking deal. I'll take it to my fucking grave, baby. You remember that?
Baby.
I gotta hear it. I don't remember saying it, but I'm sure I gotta hear it first.
And then she said, me too. Remember that?
I just want to say, right, it's the fact that he even denied, says that he tries to say that he can't even remember Monica even being near him or being at the car park, etc. Like, it's basically her vehicle. Like, how is the only reason that he probably denies this or tries to act like he can't remember is because the video, as we have seen, was grainy. So now when we get to this part, because what is going to happen here is he is going to deny, at the very least, he is going to deny or at least testify that he doesn't remember. I'm just gonna equate doesn't remember to denial now. I'm just gonna do that because it's just convenient how he doesn't remember saying that he was gonna take blame for the murder, even even though it's firmly established, even though he said he had nothing to lose. Literally said nothing. He had nothing to lose. Literally at the end of his direct examination testimony.
No, I don't. And like I said, I need to hear it.
And then you said, I love you. I'll take the blame before anything. Do you remember saying that? In the lockup, right here. Trust me, the answers aren't up there. Then on the next page.
I think,
One moment. That is,
Trying to answer the question.
that is
No, he's
argumentative.
not. He's not, Judge.
first of all, it wasn't here. It wasn't Van Nuys.
I'm sorry?
It wasn't Van Nuys.
No, this is here.
I thought it was Van Nuys.
Yeah, you're wrong.
Say it again, I told you nothing.
On the next page, the defendant said to you, she's whispering and she says, hey, the cameras. And you said, I know, but I'll take the blame, I'll lie. And then she whispered again and said, wait, listen. And once again you said, I'll lie and I'll take it. Do you remember that?
I don't remember the conversation, but I'm sure if you said it's there, it's there.
And then she said to you again, whispering, listen, the cameras. And you said, where? And she whispered to you, up at Target. They have a camera at Payless Shoes. They have no video of you. And you said, of us? Remember that?
No, I don't.
I actually can't remember this either. I'm not gonna lie.
In whispers, none. And you said, yeah, I know. He told me. Meaning your lawyer, right? The lawyer that didn't tell you any of it.
I don't. I know. No, exactly. Oh, the overhears? Absolutely. He told me nothing. I knew nothing about it. I knew they were there.
And then she said, in a whisper, the video was only for a month or two. And you said, I know. And nothing on the other one at night two. The other one at night two. That was the one at the strip mall where you tried to kill Fabio the night before when Monica gave you the address, right?
I don't. I'm telling you, I don't remember any of this. I don't remember it.
Your answer that you don't remember is different than saying it didn't happen, right?
Sustained.
And then the conversation went on. And you said there's nothing. Only thing is a couple drops of my DNA. That you explained that already. That he took it. And she said, yeah. Remember that?
I don't remember the conversation.
And then the defendant said to you in a whisper, I'm so scared. And you said, even if we, and she said in a whisper, if I have to stay in here my whole life, I'll take my own life. And you said, no, baby, don't you? And she said, I will not stay here. And you said, don't you do it ever, baby. Remember that?
I do remember that one.
This must have been the jail calls, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't have a recollection of these, but then again, the jail calls were so mundane that I couldn't really take much from it. So this must have been the jail calls that was played by Missy Roberts. The Target CCTV though, I cannot remember that one. I genuinely cannot remember. So if I missed it, I missed it. But I genuinely did not track or did not really note down Monica saying that. I do remember, I'm not sure if it's related to the investigation by Chris Gable. I'm not sure if that was where, because I know that there was a ruse done to simulate like a car burglary, but that was way after the murder. So this was, from what was presented, it must have been the day of the murder that Monica was making these statements, and I just can't remember.
So now it's coming back a little?
I remember that phrase.
And then she said to you in a whisper, I've never been asked yet about the flip phone. I haven't been asked yet. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that either.
And then she said to you, this is what we talked about this morning before lunch, in a whisper, they want your computer. And you said, mine? And in a whisper, she said, yours. And your response? You told us earlier it was stolen, right, from your truck?
Yeah, it was.
That's what you told us all this morning, I think. Right?
I told you it was stolen.
Gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
She said
So
in a
traumatized.
whisper, yeah. Gone? Gone? Are you sure? And you said, well, no, yeah. It's not around. It broke. And she said, oh. And you said, so I got rid of it because it was broke and it was no more good. And she said, oh. Do you remember that? Nothing about it being stolen out of the truck.
Well, she doesn't need to know what happened to it anyway, because I know there's a good possibility you were listening.
Right. And then you said, and I happened to do it the day before. What were the chances of that shit breaking? Right? So which is it? Did it get stolen?
Oh, it got stolen, along with some gear, with some racquetball gear.
And so after you and Monica met up in the Target parking lot, where did you go next?
Well, where I went, where we met, you say we met. I'm not going to say anything about that. I'm just saying where I met. Where I went from there is I went to find a place to park the car.
Which car?
The silver rental.
All right, that's established. I'm gonna skip ahead because there was a lot of testimony. I'll just give a quick context. So after this, he goes on to testify in regards to that he wanted Paula McCulloch to basically give the rental, to basically sort out the rental car for him so that he could not be traced. He also testified in regards to Austin being in the passenger seat and the formations, where everyone was situated in the seat as they were getting the Porsche out of the out as they were making their escape. He also went on to testify that that basically he and this is where it gets crucial, and I'm gonna go straight to here because he gave testimony that Monica. This goes back to the Diane Arbor email that we went through on episode 17. So Monica had basically given him the logon details for the Wi-Fi so that she could basically say hi to him so that they can communicate that way. It's kind of the weirdest testimony because I just can't remember Wi-Fi working like an SMS service in which you can communicate with each other. Maybe I don't know how CCTV, like these Ring cameras work nowadays. I don't know if it has those capabilities. I just found it strange. So we're gonna listen to that testimony as we wind down because we are getting to the part that that the show is because it's only meant to be for 1 hour 30 minutes. So we're just gonna play this testimony. Before I do go into it, I literally just remember to highlight. He also testified that he cannot remember exactly. He cannot remember giving Austin the knife to go and stab Fabio. This is important because Austin testified to stabbing Fabio himself, and he also testified that it was Baker that gave him a knife, and now he's saying that he can't remember. So again, memories. But the part that really implicated Monica was what I highlighted earlier, the testimony in regards to being at the faux restaurant, and for some reason he just blurted out that she has shared it and then tried to reverse it into saying that he was the one, that he had to he must have learned it on his own. So now we're going to go to a testimony about the logon details to the whole DVR Wi-Fi access.
Home a couple of times prior to Fabio Sementilli's murder. How did you know where to enter the home if you had only been there a couple of times?
Because I know that going through the front door is covered through a camera. So I'm trying to avoid that camera for now.
And you know that because, again, on June 28th, when your cell phone connected to the Sementilli's home Wi-Fi, that same day, Monica sent you an email with the logon instructions for her home security system, right?
She sent me the logon. Yes.
Okay. And that was so that you could also be aware of people coming and going, the family from the home, right?
No, it was just for her to say hello to me.
For her to say hello to you.
Yeah, stupid as that sounds, but yes.
If she wanted to say hello to you, all she had to do was pick up the phone, right? Like you guys did 180 times a day.
No, not right. Not right.
Oh, come on, man.
Not right.
Not right.
Not right.
Come on.
So, in other words, she knew about your prior history, right?
Yes.
That's crucial because, again, we heard testimony from Beth. Well, Beth kind of brought it out of him, saying that, I don't know, wait. Damn, I just blanked out. But it was in regards to the danger that he was posing, even being around Monica's daughters. And I remember making the point that it's not going to look good for Monica, that this guy has these prior history, and yet she was so recklessly bringing him to the house, which just stands to reason that she would also recklessly go along with the conspiracy to kill to basically kill Fabio.
And you said she was fine with that. We talked about that the other day. Remember that?
Yes.
She was okay with the whole sex registrant, underage minor, all of that, right?
Yes.
And yet she sent you the password, her home Wi-Fi, and the login code for the cameras at the Sementilli home, where she had 2 teenage daughters coming and going from the home, right?
Yeah, she had daughters.
And so that was so that you could see everybody coming and going from the home and keep tabs on them,
No,
right?
just her. Whenever she said I want to say hello, I don't look at nobody else, didn't care about anybody else. Wasn't it?
And we're going to end it here. I will continue on from here because there is one more part of this testimony that we gotta get onto, that we can do basically, because that one I believe is the last they understand. So this, we're now getting in. We have to go. Not that one. Sorry, his letters to Monica and also interviews with the defense, and then we have the last they understand testimony before moving on to the rest of the witnesses. The reason why there is so much attention on this guy is because he was the one to basically. Yeah, he was the one to confess to killing Fabio, and it's in contrast, direct opposition, to what Austin has testified to, and both of them were at the scene. So we need to take care of these with these testimonies. Red or Rick, thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate anyone that have been tuned in here. Most of you guys are lurking, which is fine. You can lurk, but do say hi. I don't bite. I'm not a wolf. I'm more of a sheep. I wear clothes, not sheep clothes. This is what is this? What is this? This is satin, so it's not sheep's clothing. So just want to put it out there. Anyway, but yeah, I don't bite. Let me know how you're feeling. But yeah, I appreciate you staying. I appreciate you showing the love in the end. I hope that you did enjoy the stream. I'll just basically say that we are going to be back next week, 4 p.m. Eastern time, and we're gonna continue going through the testimony by Robert Baker. It's really important to at least get as much information out onto onto my notes, etc. Onto, because there's a lot of clarity that I wanna like ensure that the record seems clean and sanitized, because at least if you're watching this stream, you're going to have every fact fused in where it's supposed to be, because I know you can't get that if you're watching the mainstream. Sometimes you might miss something, sometimes you might not. I might miss something, so it's kind of like a communal effort to keep the records intact, because I like especially with defendants like Baker, like you need context with everything. Yeah, but anyway, I'll leave it there. I appreciate every single one of you. I just want to say before I do go, we are covering the a new trial, the Corey Richards trial. It starts tomorrow. We are going to be doing ongoing coverage for that, daily previews, where I'm going to be giving what the trial, what the next day is going to look like, what has happened so far. Tomorrow I'm going to be going through the pre-trial events to set the narrative, to basically go through what has been covered in the Corey Richards trial, pre-trial, so to speak, on what we can expect in the main trial. I'm also going to be, like I said, doing the trial monitoring stream that same day with the members, the Condiment Island members. Pretty much we'll be doing a trial monitoring stream there. So if you want to join in and, you know, monitor the stream with us, you know, I will be breaking it down live, etc. based on what I see. Yeah, so feel free to join. And yeah, if the case interests you, it does seem really interesting. She is accused of poisoning her husband so that she can get his insurance money and pay off the debts that she unfortunately found herself in, which I want to see how they prove that case. I really do. We are also that's the only case coverage as well. After this case coverage, we are going to be doing Karen Reed trial monitoring stream, because I am going to be releasing the project. I'll be doing a docuseries on the Karen Reed trial, so I'm going to be releasing that sometime in the summer. I will let you guys know closer to the date. And I'm going to be going back. I've seen a trial already. I've seen both trials already once, but I like to always make sure that I cover my blind spots before I go into even attempt doing a docuseries, attempt doing a case study. So I'll be doing that again, and you guys can watch with me if that's what you wish. I'm going to be starting that after the Corey Richards trial coverage. So without further, I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, every single one of you for tuning in. Head over. The last case coverage that we did was of the Brendan Banfield trial. You can get let me refresh so that you guys can actually see. This is the repository for it. You can get all the information for this case. I promise you it's probably going to take less than 10 minutes to know everything about the case. You can also get the PDFs if you sign up to be a mailing list. You can also go onto the site to suggest a case that you might want me to take a look at and break down whatever it might be. It's all on the Catch Up Court website. The links are in the description. I'll just leave it there. Yeah, hopefully you guys have a great week ahead. Hopefully it is productive. Yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye for now. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another Catch Up Court live stream. Make sure that you smash that like button as well as hitting that subscribe button to be notified of our future live streams. We go live regularly, bringing you case updates and recaps of ongoing trials, so make sure you hurry back on the next live stream. We also have more content on the channel that you can binge on. Check out the playlist that we have showcasing all of these contents. Without further, I go by the name of Heinz, your friendly neighborhood ketchup man, and I'll see you back in court.